Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Cool. I'm a little bit early. I didn't know if you were ready yet or not.
Yeah. So, what are you looking to do? Something with real estate?
No. It's kind of a multifaceted thing, really. It's all about pizza.
Pizza.
I'm working on writing a pizza cookbook right now, which I think is going to be a pretty one-of-a-kind thing. I'm looking at releasing that as an ebook because I can basically do that for free.
Right.
And also, I would like to start a website specifically about pizza, which is another thing that doesn't take a great deal of investment. But I also I have a dough formula that I honestly believe is really good enough to sell in stores, and that's pretty much the biggest business venture that I'm looking at. And they're all three connected, really. But the dough thing is the thing that's really the biggest challenge. Right now, my plan is to go forward with a crowdfunding campaign with this. I think that I would gain the best credibility for this by just actually releasing, my cookbook and showing the world I know what I'm talking about with that, at least. But I still need to, I need to have some kind of an idea what kind of, how much money to ask for. Basically. So that's why I'm working with the local chapter of the SBDC to put a business plan together, and running against these challenges of these insanely expensive market analysis.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember now. You want all that data. Okay, and is that because of the SBDC wants it for a business plan?
They are requiring that. I mean, that's part of the business plan template that they have given me, but that seems to be kind of what I'm seeing at any other business plan looking at too. So,
Well, why do you need a business plan?
Well, like I said, basically, I think realistically, I really do need to know how much money I need to ask for when I do a crowdfunding campaign. I don't want to just get out there and act like, I don't know, $100,000.
Okay, so that
realistic figures. I really need something to put out there.
But see, a business plan to me would be a lot different. If you're asking for money, you need to know like how much it costs to do something, versus how many you're going to sell, and what's the market and all that kind of stuff. I don't think. I mean, I've interviewed about 700 people who've done crowdfunding campaigns, and I've done market research most of my life before I got into consumer stuff, and I have an MBA and stuff. And from what I see, I don't think you need a business plan. But unless you were going after investors to invest,
I prefer not.
Pardon me? Yeah. So that's why crowdfunding.
I've learned from you and so many other people on the web that. There's absolutely no reason at this day and age to get yourself in tens of thousands of dollars in debt for anything.
Right, exactly.
Free and just get it going.
Exactly, yeah. All right. So now the dough. Tell me a little more about the dough. So you have a way to make dough that you can sell to pizza places? Is that pizza restaurants?
No, preferably. I mean, maybe if restaurants would be interested in that. I don't think many restaurants would be
interested in
that. That's something they can do themselves.
But this is a consumer product?
Someone else do. My goal is to put a dough in stores.
I see, okay.
I thought about this. I've weighed the option of either a dry mix or a pre-made dough. And I honestly think that the pre-made dough is the better option because people have to be pretty interested in baking and pretty dedicated to that to really go with the dry mix. Whereas if you just give them a pre-made dough and it really, really kick-ass good, and you get that going. And I haven't really ever seen much of that at all in stores at all. I've seen these, frankly, pretty crappy pre-made crusts that you can buy that are at room temp. I don't think are very good, but I would rather sell it something, like probably frozen that people can thaw out when they're ready to use.
What will the book be on?
It's on pizza, but almost exclusively on crust. The section on crust alone is it's almost 80 pages long.
Oh, really?
It's pure text.
Well, to me, I'm wondering if there may be a two-step thing. In other words, you have a pizza book, right? Coming.
Yes.
That maybe you do a small crowdfunding on the pizza book, because the pizza book then would give you the knowledge to get the more data you feel you need for manufacturing pizza dough and distributing it and all that kind of stuff, which is a big thing. And you got to have like something that people will want, as a benefit for giving you money, and prepaying for a book may be easier than prepaying for, I get 5 boxes of pizza dough when you figure this out,
Right.
and to me, it would also give you a lot of marketing information. Number one, you'll see how people are interested in doing this themselves. So, and maybe you can aim the book more at people who would buy the pizza dough. In other words, the best way to make pizza at home, no matter who the fuck you are, Italian or not. Yeah. And so you understand that market, and then once you understand that market, then you have sort of like beginnings of a market that you could sell online. So now when you say, I can figure it out, because I think if you figure, by doing the research, putting it in the book and finishing that, you should have a lot of data about how to do it, and manufacture it, and the selling and shipping, I guess. But, when you think of it, if you get a couple hundred people to buy the book, then you have a couple hundred people maybe first in line that want to buy the dough, and now you have to figure. And then you could do that in smaller bunches instead of figuring out, I need, $50,000 to get the pizza fart machine or whatever it is. And you just bootstrap piece by piece to see what really works after that. And the book may even show you there's a market, and that would help you even more for a market for pizza makers at home, because what you're aimed at, right?
I've considered what you're saying, but in actuality, the book is darn near finished already. All I'm working on is the visuals. A friend of mine is going to start helping me with the photography, which is the big thing. I really need to finish it. So I would like to just get that thing done on Kindle and get it out there and kind of use that as my platform, my proof of credibility to the platform for the crowdfunding. So literally I'm the guy who's written the book on this. So help me get these photos in the store. That's kind of what I'm looking at doing. And I'm also looking at, making a website that's really, really, really interactive, really connecting with my fellow pizza addicts. That's kind of this pizza company, the business company I'm looking at is the name, Pizza Addicts, and, making super interactive thing. So I don't know that I really need to do a crowdfunding platform for the cookbook, because I've got that almost done already.
But even that, doesn't that make sense? I mean, it doesn't mean that even if you're almost done is great, because you could ship real fast, and you may get a couple grand or I don't know what whatever you get. Right. And also, it's a way to learn crowdfunding. Is that going to be your main thing? And you're not investing in the big enchilada yet on crowdfunding.
Yeah, I guess from the research I've done on crowdfunding so far, it sounds like they expect you to have something done out there already, and you know what I mean. And if with the pizza cookbook done already, that I have something to show them and give them as a gift.
Well, see, but I'm saying that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's, everything is right to an extent. You'll find 5 guys who say that's right. Yeah. But I interviewed 700, and I tell you, 60, 70% of the people I've interviewed never even been in the fucking thing they've done.
Yeah.
That crowdfunding is such a new thing. It's where people have no experience and are doing things. I talked to a young guy who wanted to put old cell phones in the jungle in the Amazon. He didn't know shit about it. And it tracked down people sawing down trees in the Amazon. And called the tree police. And people who God, my boss, couldn't get out of bed, and we would design something for him to get. Hey, let's put that on Kickstarter. So many people learn themselves. I don't think the people who are investing in Kickstarting to me or crowdfunding are on the forefront of things. They're not going to Apple to get another Apple product, so you're good at that shit. It's some guy who has a good idea. Who was it? But I mean, I'm wrong a lot of times. But don't trust me at anything.
Well, we've got about 30. We've got about 30 seconds before we wrap it up. Do you know of any place to get free or cheap market analysis reports, just in case I need it?
God, free market analysis report. It depends on the market. What is the market you're looking? Email me or here. Tell me the market, and I'll show you where to get that data. I think the answer is yes. I have to understand more about that, okay?
Your session has ended. Please take a moment to rate this session.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You betcha.
Okay, cool. We did it.
Okay. So now you're looking for market data, not for frozen pizzas, but just frozen pizza dough?
Yeah, or refrigerated. I mean, that's the closest equivalent there really is that I can see. There's not much on the market, I don't think, that's like what I want to be doing.
Which is frozen pizza dough or not?
Yeah, or refrigerated, probably frozen for better, shelf life, longevity. I don't really see anything else out there like that.
And if there's nothing much out there, why would market data on that be of interest? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. It is kind of a conundrum, so I'm not really quite certain what to do about that. But at any rate, even the closest equivalent to it, the report's going to cost thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it's just for a market study that you're really not sure what that's going to do, unless you were looking for someone to give you, millions or something like that, it seems like.
Right.
Yeah. Why bother if you're going to use it just for crowdfunding or whatever it is? So that's why, to me, it's showing the market for refrigerated pizza dough, and you don't think there isn't any. It seems like maybe what would be intriguing to market, to me anyway, and maybe I'm just too old school too, is like, okay, why is this big? Okay, why is what you're going to do big? Okay, so actually if you say, hey, look at people buy X amount of frozen pizzas or whatever it is, and you see the growth of that and the volume and whatever, and then is there a way to hook after that is there, because that has to be billions, right? That what other things are people doing themselves like that? Right? Is there something you could say? I mean, everybody wants home stuff and fresh farm stuff, and it seems like we're going to more like that. I mean, now with these people that send you. Don't they send like dough and overnight on UPS for your meal now?
Yeah.
So maybe that's the market that you could say you're hooking on. It is not so much the pizza dough market, because there isn't a frozen pizza dough market, so you can't show data. But the growth of this other kind of thing that people are doing at home more or something.
Yeah. Right. Well, there's no question that I follow this stuff because I really am a pizza addict. I love pizza.
Right.
And, it's pretty easy to prove that pizza really has become the #1 food in America. People really do absolutely love it. Our standards of quality for it have really risen.
Right.
People are much more
absolutely.
and the whole farm-to-table thing, cooking it themselves. There's no question there's a market for it out there. So I guess I'm not really sure how to answer the question, but I would say that I am seeing there's definitely an increase in higher quality frozen pizzas on the market. There's no question about that I'm seeing. So I'm thinking that's great, but you know what? Even those really good ones still don't top.
Yeah, I understand.
Really
yeah.
homemade pizza. So
No.
I mean, if you could buy a dough that would give you a pizza that you made yourself at home that really was every bit as good as almost any pizzeria around. Why not? Why couldn't that work?
Exactly.
That's kind of my angle, I guess.
And that's why I don't. So I mean, God, I mean, why try to get data on refrigerated?
That's what they're asking for
Yeah,
at the
but
SBDC.
that's. I mean, they don't know.
Frankly,
they're not going to give you money.
Yeah, I don't know. Quite frankly, at this point, I just feel obligated to finish this. Because
I see. Okay.
These good people have given me their time.
Yeah, I understand. Well, then you got to fudge it somewhere else to make it through. So that's why it's I would get the data. And I assume market studies all the time, but this was 20, 30 years ago, so you can't trust me. But that's I'd make up data. I'd say, okay, if extrapolate data, if data wasn't out there, if you go into number stores and see nothing similar in any of the big grocery stores or even the specialty markets or something like that. And maybe talk to a distributor to, hey, is there any shit like this around? And that's also good marketing data for you to have, right?
Yeah.
So in other words, maybe you do this as for your own marketing data as selling yourself. Selling your stuff, 6 weeks for months from now, and then you'll have at least some interesting data to give the SBDC people. But you don't want to spend a couple $1,000 to somebody who's going to guess too. So if you went to some food distributors in the pizza and asked them, so you have a survey. You've talked to 12 people. That nothing like this around. Stupid, and then you just for data you show the data in the the regular pizza business how big that sucker is, and then maybe other indicators that you could find. I remember looking at chocolate for somebody recently, like the expensive chocolate that's growing in this country. Not Hershey bars, but the real good stuff. That the growth in that, so and the farm to table stuff. I mean, there's got to be some industries that do that. And, you could have some nice data on that, or just the gourmet pizza market. That how that is doing it. So what you're doing is really putting together, the gourmet thing. The pizza huge, gourmet is growing. So why don't we make great gourmet pizza at home, right? Yeah. And there's no data going to tell you that because nobody's doing it yet. You're going to do it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the beauty of it. I'm really feeling like I've really got to strike the iron while it's hot because, there's no question there's a growing public interest in this, and I'm not seeing anybody doing what I want to do. I mean, I only just started to kind of lay on you what my whole big idea is. Yeah. We only had some time, but really, ultimately, I'm probably going to have to just build this piece by piece. But really, what I want to do is what I consider to be really the world's first really multi-dimensional food business, where I am interacting with people on the web. They're buying my books. I've got my products in the store. Maybe maybe it even gets to the point where I do like frozen pizzas, completed pizzas based on the suggestions of my fans that I build. Hey, let's do a pizza with this and that kind of thing. Or people on my website suggest it, and bam, there it is in the store. Nobody's ever done anything like that.
There's one thing that interests me. I interviewed some kids who had crowdfunding in Ohio, a small town, and what they took over a bar at lunchtime.
Yeah.
you know, and did their crowdfunding out of that with some little pocket thing from Hawaii they're bringing over and trying to sell and things like that. And so the guy got the liquor, and he got the sales for the food and cooked the food and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting way, you know, to have a restaurant only a little bit when you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also it's a way to have a gimmick for a crowdfunding thing too. So just think if you were making this pizza, you know, in I don't know where you are, Philly or where, I'm not sure where you. Yeah.
I'm in Michigan, Southwest Michigan, small town.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, so you know, if you a small guy at a bar doing his pizza and a crowdfunding, so people taste it. Wow, you know, and you get a shitload of local media just for doing that. That's what these young guys do.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I mean, I would just work around it. Number one, don't spend thousands of dollars on doing any of that. You know. Unless you really feel that guilty.
It's not even an option. I just don't even have it. It's
Yeah.
not even an option.
And so, but the other thing, if you want to work on the data, you know, I'd be happy to do that. I'm a data person, you know, with the market study for the, you know, existing pizza. I mean, just showing the existing pizza market data and the other thing, and calling some distributors just so you don't feel guilty. Because if you talk to a half a dozen, you know, pizza ingredient distributors and they all say, yeah, there's nothing like that. Huh. That's,
Yeah, but where do I even get that sort of market data that's affordable? I don't even know where to get
well,
that.
no, you don't need affordable. You just need a list of distributors. Let me think that through. Send me an email. Remind me, okay? Because that
Okay.
should be it. Okay.
All right.
Okay, Randy.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you bet. Talk to you later. Thank you. Bye now.
Bye-bye.